Welcome back. So, okay, let's do this, huh? Raise your hand if you've never ever made a mistake in your life. I'm pretty sure no one raised their hand. Because we've all made mistakes. And it's actually a good thing. Yes, it's okay to make mistakes. We just need to see mistakes though as opportunities to learn and grow. So, can we do this? Of course! So, ano, G? Tara!
So today, let's try to look at mistakes in a different perspective. So let me ask you, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about mistakes? The X mark, right? X. As opposed to a check mark? Yes. So there, let's create this big, thick X mark. So we've done the left side. Now let's try to do the other side by just trying to mirror the other side. There, the last leg. Okay, so let's try to design our X mark to make it look differently, so we don't get stuck with thinking about the negative thoughts when it comes to mistakes. So let's first start by drawing like a border, an inside border in our X mark. Here. It's like drawing a smaller X mark inside the original one we just drew. Okay. So we're almost done with our border. Okay, so the next thing we do is create circles to fill that border, the border we just created. So circles side by side. The circles are touching the inner and outer line of the border. So let's just continue doing this until we fully fill the border with circles. So there. Just repeatedly drawing circles. So the act of repeatedly doing something, I like this because it's relaxing. There's not much thought coming into it. So no stress, just doing things with no effort, not much thinking. So in times like these, my mind starts to wander. Goes off, it thinks of something else. It focuses on something else. So why don't we try this? Since I think you guys won't be doing much thinking also while doing these circles, let's use this time to try to recall the past mistakes we've done. So even just one mistake, let's try to recall, but let's focus more on what happened next. What good came out of the mistake you made. So like for me, first thing that I can remember is those times that wherein I unconsciously spoke hurtful words that offended others. Especially those times wherein I offended people I care about. So of course it didn't feel good, but I can tell you because of that, now I've become more conscious and more considerate of others, especially when it comes to what I say. So that's a good thing, right? A good thing that came out of the mistake I've made. So there. So we're done with the circles, but let's add something else. Let's try to shade the inner part the circles, not fully shade the inside, just the center. So, and you'll notice also I'm skipping a circle, then shading the next one. So shade, skip, okay, there. So since we're doing something repetitive again, why don't you let's try to do the exercise again of recalling a mistake we've done, but focusing more on the positive thing that happened after. try to do that exercise again and recall something you've done before, a mistake, but focusing more on what good came about after that. Okay, so we're done with the outer border, but let's create another border, another design, because again, the idea of what we're doing now is we're trying to help us see mistakes in a different light. So this X mark will look differently later. So again, let's try to create another border by drawing a smaller X mark inside. So there. Almost done. Let's close it here. So for this design, let's use curvy or wavy lines. So the wavy lines, you'll notice, is just touching the inner part of the border, not the outside. So there. You'll also notice that we've been using circles and wavy lines. So these are more on curved lines. Because for me, curved lines as opposed to straight, jagged, cornered lines, I think curvy lines are are less intimidating, right? So they're more relaxing. They're not that aggressive. Let's just shade the inner part, the unshaded parts of the wavy lines we just created. So I want to highlight the waviness because I want to give off a smoother vibe, because I want us to veer away from negative thoughts and feelings when it comes to mistakes. There. So no anger, no negative thoughts. There. Okay. And you also notice, if you take a step back and look at the whole picture we've done so far, it seems like the X mark is becoming smaller, right? Because right now you tend to just see the innermost part of the X mark. It seems smaller now, right? There. So almost done with the shading. So the next thing we do is to fill the inside of this X mark. So we start by drawing a circle at the center. Then we draw another circle, a bigger one. And then we also draw a bigger one after. So this is what we will be doing. We'll just be drawing layers and layers of circles to fill the inside of the X mark. Circles getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So why did I think about this design? Because I want us also to remember and focus this time on the thought that mistakes can help us grow. So that's one of the good things that mistakes can bring. So mistakes can help us grow. It's like this circle growing inside of us. There. Some more here. Okay. Then what we do next is we shade the inside of the smallest circle. Then the next layer, we just put some dots. There. We skip the next layer, then put some dots again. Okay, some dots and more dots in this layer. Again, we skip one, then we put some dots again in the next layer. There. So, okay, this one here. Okay, there. So what did we do with the blank layers? And now let's start using straight lines, straight diagonal lines to create small triangles. Here, just turn, rotate the paper so it will be easier for us to draw. Okay. Alright. And after this, let's try to shade the inside of the triangle. So not actually fully shade. Let's try to create a smaller triangle, shaded triangle inside the triangles we just created. I'm speaking of the inner triangles only, the ones pointing outward. So there. So let's just do it again on the other blank circles, blank layers. So like this. Shade again, create a small shaded triangle inside. So you notice after using circles and curved lines, I've now moved to using straight, pointy, straight lines, right? Because now I want us to also focus on the, what do you call this? The process or the decision of actually telling ourselves to look at the positive side of things, to look at mistakes in a different perspective. I want us to try to really veer away from the thought that mistakes are bad. Okay, so I want us to be more deliberate now and not just like go with the flow and with our feelings. So I want us to use our thoughts, okay, and really think that mistakes can be something good. There you have it. And as for the blank parts in this strip, the inverted triangles, let's put some big dots there to fill that blank spaces. Okay. Let's just fill the blank spaces, the inverted triangles with dots. So there. Doesn't our X mark look different now? But we're not yet done. Let's do this. Let's draw a circle, a big circle on top of our X mark. There. And let's thicken the outline. Okay. So that it will pop out. It will pop out beside our X mark, our beautiful X mark. There. Next is we draw a smaller circle to the side, the right side, but again with a thicker outline. Then let's draw a smaller circle inside, thick outline also. Let's also do it in the left side, a smaller circle with thick outline, thick line, and then a smaller circle inside. Let's also do this with the bottom, but a bigger circle. Let's draw a bit bigger than the ones on top. There. Let's draw this. Then a smaller circle inside. Oops. A bit thicker. There. Okay. So lastly here, let's draw another circle. So look at what we've done so far. What does this look like? Look, this is is an X mark, but now this is us. It looks like a person. So let's create the 5 fingers there and our 5 toes. So there you go. So I hope when you take a look at this, on what you just created, you get to see mistakes in a different light already. That mistakes can help us grow. So I hope you don't be too hard on yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. Have a great day, guys!